probably shouldn't start videos like that because it immediately fucks my voice a little bit because I don't do voice exercises anymore to make my voice stronger. And then I drink soda and I'm sure that fucks it up too. Like right now. But it's so good. My morning soda, bitches. Followed by my mid-morning, my late morning, my early afternoon, my afternoon. I'm just kidding. I don't drink that much soda. I actually have a subject today I really would like to talk about. Triggered by an event yesterday. So, I love loud music. I've always loved loud music. I've tried to keep it under wraps, like as far as I try to maintain a safe decibel level. What's that done for me? Nothing. I still have, my ears are still fucked up. They're on their way to terror. I don't know how G-Dub says it. Terror. But anyway, so the very rare chances I get to listen to loud music, I try and fucking indulge. So yesterday, Lily goes outside, and I finally, like the first time in weeks, no, maybe not weeks, I was excited to be able to listen to loud music. Because if I've got anxiety and I'm frustrated, it feels good, man. I like it. I like it a lot. So I was listening. I couldn't. At first, I was like, there was a Nine Inch Nails song. I don't remember which one. And I was like, the fucking bass isn't right for these speakers. I know these speakers. What did I do? So I was looking around, and I realized my subwoofer was turned to middle. I probably did that intentionally because that sub is super strong. But I didn't give a fuck because I've blasted speakers so many times when I know people are home. On the two sides of me, next to me, one direction, and the other, because we're in the corner of a building that has 4 units in it. Well, whatever. Our building has 4 units in it, so there's really only 2 direct neighbors. And I've asked people to live in both sides quite a few times. And I don't know if they're just the one that I'd ask a bunch. Oh, is that it? That's it. Son of a bitch. I'm just cruising on by where I need to go. The one neighbor has never heard anything ever. And they're kind of a quiet place. So I would expect, and I think they're pretty honest. So I would fully expect that they would tell me. I wonder if I just cheesed getting over. Oh, fuck me, I should have turned in right there. But no matter what I tried, it seemed like I could not get anybody in either side to hear shit. And I believed it because my speakers were right on the other side of this window, and I would go outside while the shit was loud as fuck. And I would barely be able to hear it, like on the sidewalk or outside the window. So I know our place is pretty well soundproofed. Hold on. Your mom.
Thank you for choosing Audible. What can I get for you this morning?
Could I get a number 20 with sausage and make it a combo, large size with a Coke, no ice?
Anything else?
Yeah, mushroom and Swiss burger combo.
For your drink?
I think Coke with no ice and large size.
Large or medium?
Large on that too.
Okay.
And I think that's all.
That's the 1659 at the one.
Thank you. So that is breakfast and lunch. But yeah, so I had tried multiple times to get either neighbor to hear something, and it seemed like it was pretty impervious, because another reason I'm not surprised is because there's a concrete wall, 8 inches thick, 6 inches thick. It's huge. Like this concrete wall, because it's like an X in the middle of the building. The concrete wall is like an X, yeah. Like an X, and then the units are cradled in each side of it. The 4 units. I mean, like, I hate the concrete wall, because you want to put pictures on those walls, you better figure out some magic, because trying to put a normal drill bit into those holes is hilarious. Fuck up your drill bit. I know, I tried. Had an 1/8 of an inch drill bit. I tried to get it. There's no way. There was no way. I scratched the paint. I succeeded in scratching the paint and almost impaling my finger or my hand, however it would have gone. So, however, all of that was with a different speaker setup, which I believe was 40 watts, maybe 60, but definitely a 40 watt speaker. I'm pretty sure it was 40 watts. Well, the speakers I have now is 120 watts, and they are loud. Like, the sub is under my desk, and the 2 speakers are on my desk, and I point them away from me for better, because it sounds better pointed away from me, because the sound fills the room better and it's more balanced than pointing them at my head, and then the mid and upper is too high. But anyway, it's loud. Like, it vibrates my keys on my keyboard. Like, I can feel it in my hands. So I understand it is much louder. But even still, I've blasted this speaker setup multiple times. Like, I like literally go next door to play with the teacher has a bunch of girls. Like, she has like a school bus full of girls. Lily goes over there to play with them. And I'll be like, listen, I'm going to play music loud, like, the whole time you're over there. So remember that and kind of listen and see if you can ever hear it. And she's like, no, I didn't hear anything. And I was like, cool. So I don't worry about it. But I moved my speaker to the side of the wall where the other unit is. Well, Beth did. Beth rearranged shit. So now with how loud that fucker is, and it's right like 1.5 feet away from the wall. She came over yesterday. Well, I guess. Because they work from home, I guess. I learned. My bad. And they're like, hey, I work from home, and your music's loud enough that it's like rattling. I guess I believe it. I totally believe it. Rattling or ceiling. So, and my callers can hear it, and I believe it, because I've never been able to hear anything from the teachers, like the teachers, whatever. And she's told me about some massive tantrums some of her girls have thrown, and I've never heard shit. But I have heard when the abusive guy that beat on his old lady, and probably the kid, and definitely the dog, that piece of shit, Brenton Anderegg, Anderegg, maybe, I don't remember. Brenton, Brenton. I'll name drop that motherfucker the rest of my life. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. I so nearly went out there and shot him in the face like 20 times. But whatever. Anyway. I don't want to go to jail though, so I didn't. And I could never get him to attack me. Very sad. Must have spit rain or something. does that sound? That is a rolling booth. Huh. It's on board, so it can't move, but... Why would you want a rolling booth? So I'll be trying Whataburger breakfast for the first time in years. Except for it'll be for lunch. It'll be cold. But I know what everything else tastes like cold. So we'll see. Oh man.
Hello, 1659. Did you want any ketchup?
No, thank you.
No? Okay.
No, thank you. It's really hard loving loud music, though, and trying to not exist. Like, my goal in life... Like, even when I go to parties and when I'm bar hopping and shit. Like, I have fun with people and joke with people and dance and all that shit. But at the end of the day, I don't want there to be a trace of me there. I'd prefer it if they don't remember me. Like, in the moment, fun. Fun in the moment. But afterwards, gone.
There you go.
Thank you.
Have a great morning.
You too. I should have been a ninja. I should have been a ninja. I should have been a ninja. But I wasn't. But I wasn't. But I motherfucking wasn't. Not a ninja. I'm just gonna go the long way around. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. But she was cool about it. Like, hey man, I work from home and your shit's too loud. I apologize. And she was like, I don't want to be that person. And I was like, hey man, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that annoying neighbor that's too loud. And she said that, she said something, I don't remember how it came up exactly, but she mentioned she had to sage that place. I'm like, I bet. And she kind of had a look like she was curious, like, oh yeah? I was like, the dude that lived there before was one of those types that, I said, I can't hear this neighbor ever. But that guy, there's a guy that used to live there that, you know, beat his women and kids and whatever, and fucking I could hear them all the time. And she's like, really? I was like, I never heard you guys. And there's another group that lived there, I never heard them either. And she said she had to sage the shit out of the place. And I was like, oh yeah. I was like, I said to her, I bet there's holes in the walls and shit. And she's like, yeah, you can tell. I was like, okay. Because I figured the people that fixed the place up to sell it, they weren't there very long because they couldn't have done much. They really couldn't have done much. I've done remodeling shit. I know how long it takes to do shit. And the amount of shit that needed done there, it would have took a week. Like a week of 8-hour days. And they were not there a week. They were not there a week. They were there maybe a day and a half, maybe. So it was just a slapdash. No replacing shit that needed replaced. Just kind of slap, run. That wasn't a full stop. Shame. But anyway, fucking... Yeah, I'll have to talk with her one day. Like, I'll give you all kinds of information on people who used to live there. And including, to be fair, before Brenton Anderick got involved, the chick that lived, whose house it really was, she was a pretty nice, chill person, as far as I could tell. And her sister's pretty cool too. And I've talked to her sister, and from what her sister said, she was always pretty decent until he got involved. And then when he got involved, she was like fucking up and quitting jobs, and they were wrecking cars all the time. But when you're fucking tweaked out on meth, yeah, that happens. Fucking, oh yeah, once COVID goes away, I'm making a list of all these places I'm going to take Lily. Sure, some of them are McDonald's play places, but you know what? She doesn't give a fuck if it's McDonald's or the Hilton. I don't think the Hilton has play areas, but she could give a fuck. If it costs nothing to get in or $1,000 to get in, don't be a difference to her. She's going to have fun. But anyway, the stories I could tell. Cops, I wish I would have said the cops aren't there like multiple times a week. So I'm glad. So don't worry about that. I was happy that she was wearing a mask, and I felt bad because I did not wear a mask to answer the door. In fact, at that moment I did not know where my masks were. Now I know because I found the basket because when I did laundry, I most of it, like, this section was mostly Beth's shit, this section was mostly Lily's shit, and this section was mostly my clothes, and then this section was like blankets and my masks and do-rags and shit. And I did not know which was which and where it was. See, if I would put shit away as it came out, it wouldn't be a problem, but I don't because I'm stupid. Which I think is the case for the majority of people doing laundry, from what I've gathered on the interwebs. Why hiccups? I should get on the interstate right here, but it would involve fucking with this truck next to me and also getting there faster. Neither of which I'm very, because knowing my luck, shit's gonna print off today that's like, well, I'm gonna have to put iMac on back burner to get today's shit done, and then I won't ever get to iMac because more shit keeps pumping out, and that's life, and I'll go in early tomorrow anyway. No matter what, I always aim for 40 hours because that's what I'm supposed to do. But no matter what, I always fucking end up with like 41 to 43. And I don't mind. I'm sure if you added up all the time I was fucking around with my phone or fucking taking calls from sales dudes that end up talking for a half hour. Not Andy, I love Andy. Other guys or gals that I don't give a fuck. I don't want to hear about your goddamn granddaughter's birthday for 20 minutes. I do not. Don't have time anyway. Whatever. It's not interesting. I doubt the people that were there cared that much. I doubt the kids gave that much of a shit. Like, your coworker that works across the country does not give a fuck. I don't want to hear about it. I feel better now, thank you. What in the fuck? There's an apartment building. Somewhere near where I live, there's been water crossing the road. And at first I thought somebody washed their car. That's what it looked like, a pool of water with a bit of a stream that kind of tapered off like someone washed a car, and it just runs off, and it's pulled up there, and it's gonna dissipate. No, it's now. Oh, here's Guadalupe. Guadalupe. I could take Elliot. I could take Elliot or Guadalupe. It doesn't matter, but I go Guadalupe. So I have to backtrack a tiny bit less. I don't care. Nobody's behind me. But today I went by there. Well, actually, today and yesterday. It's been several days. Oh, it's been several days. And it's still there, which now I understand it wasn't someone washing their car. There's a leak. And I understand I'm not paying for that water. But there's a ever shrinking hippie in me that's like, hey man, you're wasting water, man. That water could be used for other shit, man. And now it's just going back out into the wild, man. It says it's going over a road and evaporating into the air. It's probably going to be polluted like crazy, man. And no one's ever going to clean it up properly, man. So it's just you're just making it dirtier, man. Why don't you just use the water properly, man? Come on, man. Like that. Yesterday was supposed to be Lily's first day going to in-person school, which is stupid as fuck. I think it's dumb as fuck. I understand they're doing measures and their masks and all that shit. I don't care. Lily's still 5, and shit goes in her mouth that shouldn't. It's nothing like it used to be, but she'll still chew on something here and there like a dumbass. I'm sure they're watching, but you can't. It's very annoying. But I'm really thankful that they're doing this. But because the COVID spiking is hardcore as it is, they're not allowing it. They're making a remote learn. So I was amazed that their school day starts at like 7:45. Are you serious? Ours didn't start until, I think it was 8:05 was when the first bell rang. It just seems so early, man. These little kids, you want them to be up that fucking early? Why? Why the fuck do you want them to be up that early? I understand though. It's just training them to be a fucking 9-to-5er. That's all. If you don't understand, that's what grade school and all that shit is. It's just getting people trained to be fucking, first shift monkeys, which is hilarious because you don't even get to be a first shift monkey. The majority of people don't. They usually work second shift and maybe third shift for their first jobs. It's very rarely you see anyone under the age of 30 in a first shift job. It seems like. Certainly not teenagers. It's just how it is. I remember the first time I got a first shift job, I was 26, 27. No, I guess I did have some stock boy jobs where I started early. But that was early. That was like, I was there before the first shifters got there. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't even like first shift. I'd rather do evenings or overnights. Because everything's open for First shift is when all the shit's open. All the banks and all that shit. There's just this first shift. Which I don't understand because everybody goddamn works first shift. So in order to do business, you have to take time off or fucking rush the shit out of it in your lunchtime, which we have half-hour lunches, so that's not really going to happen for us. Even though I don't really ever take them ever. I get my breakfast and lunch in the morning. I figured I'd get there closer to 6, but I'm gonna end up getting there about 5:30 when I'm supposed to get there. Well, assuming I take lunches. I'm glad HR doesn't make us clock in and out and all that shit, because then I'd have to pretend like I'm taking a lunch, and I fucking don't. And half the time I'd forget to clock back in anyway. So I'd be constantly contacting HR. Yeah, I can't. I went back to work about this time, but I forgot to clock in, and then they'd complain, and HR. That's what I think about HR. Every place I've ever had HR. Well, we fucking you called in 2 times in 6 months. Shut the fuck up. We don't even give a shit why. I don't give a shit. Fuck you. Come sit at your desk and do nothing for 3/4 of your shift. Just so you're there. We need you there in case you get calls. Yeah, that was West Telemarketing. Okay, bye. That's the end of the cool story time for this morning. Okay, bye. Love you. Love your mom. Love your titties. Send me titties. Send me pictures of titties. No, don't. Oh, well, it could be terrible. There's so many terrible titties out there. You don't know, but there is. There really is.